Happy Friday. I'm in my little book nook and talking today about this tried and true, awesome book about teaching that I first read when I got into teaching. And it's been a while since I've read it, but I'm planning to reread it soon because this week has been a good week overall. And this book, I want to read just a little bit of it because I think it relates to teaching. Now, no matter how advanced, if you want to say hello, let me know where you're watching from. If not, that's fine too. When we think that we can get on top of teaching, stay ahead of the game, if we can just plan, then everything will go perfectly. That's actually sort of not always true. And when this book was written in the 90s, Parker Palmer, who wrote The Courage to Teach, who's just amazing, he didn't have all of the technological advances that we have right now. Like, I teach in a one-to-one school, so we have smart boards in every classroom. Every student has a laptop, and we're really expected to keep up with technology and all of the new ideas and all of the innovation, which is great, and I'm totally behind that. But I think just because we have all of these new methods that are always coming down the pike and cool hands-on projects and cool strategies and all these awesome things, this book really talks about the soul of the teacher and the heart of the teacher. It's actually called Exploring the Inner Landscape of a Teacher's Life. And I just want to read a couple of paragraphs from the introduction. And it starts out, teaching from within. I am a teacher at heart, and there are moments in the classroom when I can hardly hold the joy. When my students and I discover uncharted territory to explore, when the pathway out of a thicket opens up before us, when our experience... That was pretty. Has that ever happened to you when you're teaching and you just spit? It's always really attractive. Okay, live TV, I just spit. Sorry, guys. When my students, that's exactly what we're talking about right here. You cannot plan for that. If you've ever spit in class, I would really love to know because that's happened to me a couple times. Really embarrassing, but anyway. Where was I? Okay, when my students and I discover uncharted territory to explore, when the pathway out of the thicket opens up before us, when our experience is illumined by the lightning life of the mind, then teaching is the finest work I know. But at other moments, the classroom is so lifeless or painful or confused, and I am so powerless to do anything about it, that my claim to be a teacher seems a transparent sham. Then the enemy seems to be everywhere, in those students from some alien planet, in that subject I thought I knew, and in the personal pathology that keeps me earning my living this way. What a fool I was to imagine that I had mastered this occult art, harder to divine than tea leaves and impossible for mortals to do even passably well. So this week, I'm trying to balance moving our family. I'm not doing the moving, but I'm being a part of the move of our family from North Carolina to Colorado, and it's pretty stressful and there's a lot to do. And my partner started her new job this week. She started virtually, and then we need to be in Denver. She needs to be in Denver no later than May 1st. And we are going to be with her a lot during that move. My daughter still needs to finish kindergarten here, but just the chaos of trying to get a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old out the door in the morning and on to school on time and get myself to school on time, get everybody dressed, lunches packed out the door. Sometimes, as hard as you try, like I try to wake up around 5 or 5:30 every morning. Sometimes no matter how hard you try, time just works against you. And I've been thinking this week, like, if I can just take care of myself enough, if I can just eat right and avoid sugar, if I can just work out, if I can just do this and this and this, then I will have control of this stress and I will have control of everything. And I was doing pretty good until yesterday morning. It was yet another rainy day. And my students had an assignment to do for Julius Caesar. And we'd gone over it on Wednesday, and then I told them to finish it for homework on Thursday. And the moment that Parker Palmer describes, in which you just feel like it seems so lifeless and you feel powerless to change it, I walked into class yesterday late. I mean, I wasn't later than the students, thank goodness, but I was just so much later than I wanted to be, and I felt like I was doing everything I could to be on time yesterday morning, but I just felt so scattered, so stressed yesterday. And I basically said to my students, okay, take out your homework. We're going to go over this sheet about Julius Caesar and characterization and all that crap. Not crap, but you know what I mean. And another thing that he talks about in this book is how hard it can be to get students to participate sometimes and to get them motivated. And on this dreary, rainy Thursday it was, sorry. I was like, okay, I need you guys to bring the energy today because I am already stressed out and it's raining and I can't carry this by myself. And I was basically carrying the discussion of their homework, and I was like, you guys need to chime in and tell me what you wrote down on your paper so we can have a discussion about what makes Brutus have a thoughtful disposition and what makes Cassius have a lean and hungry look and all that stuff. And they just weren't buying into it. They weren't getting as passionate about this play as I wanted them to be. And instantly I start, thinking that, okay, they're to blame. They are being sullen little 10th graders. And this is not my fault right now. Like, this is not me. Nothing about this situation right now is me because I am doing the best I can. And here I am. I'm trying to, if you only knew what my life looked like, it's so stressful, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody came in, like an IT guy, to connect something, whatever, smartboard or whatever. And I said, can you hold on? I'll be right back. And I went to the teacher's lounge and I got on my knees and I just said a prayer to the universe. And I said, please remove my fear. What am I afraid of in this moment? I don't know what I'm afraid of. I don't know if I'm afraid that I need to have it all perfectly together. I need to have it all figured out. Am I afraid that if my class doesn't look a certain way, then I'm failing? What am I afraid of here? I didn't even know what I was afraid of. But this is a first for me. I've never done that before, but it helped. I got on my knees and I just prayed and I just said, please remove my fear. Whatever fear this is that I have right now, just direct me and help me serve these students right now. And I got a fresh glass of water, and I came back in the room and I took the focus off of my ego and I tried my hardest to end the class on a more positive note. And they became more participatory, and we acted out the assassination scene. It was very dramatic, and we went on to watch the whole Friends, Romans, Countrymen speech, and they wrote a speech today that I called an honorable speech, and they gave speeches about things that they were passionate about. And honestly, like, they had me on the verge of tears today. Their speeches were so amazing. I was so proud of them. And this dichotomy that Parker Palmer describes of teaching being such a wonderful, it's like there's nothing finer, and then it being just the pits some days, and you think, okay, if I can just plan, if I can just be in control of this, I can control it all. And recognizing I can't. When I let the power go, when I let the control go, and I give it to a power greater than myself, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, spirit, source, something that makes this world go around that's not me, it just goes so much more smoothly. So I'm not here to tell you about the latest technology tool that might help you in your teaching or strategy or whatever. I'm just here to tell you that in my 14 years of teaching, I still don't have it figured out. I don't think I ever will. Parker Palmer wrote this, I think, in his 60s, and I don't think he claims to have it figured out. You have these awesome days, and you have these days where you're doing your best, and you still might fall on your face. But somebody told me, a wise person once told me, you can start your day over at any time. And as I walked back in the classroom yesterday, I thought, I can start my day over right now. I can start this day over. Because I was taking out my stress on them. And I was like, come on guys, you need to bring the positive energy. You need to work harder. I can't just give you the answers for this. You need to give me something here. Come on, you're to blame. I didn't say that out loud, but I basically was saying that. That's not the way I want the class to go, and it's not their fault. And when I can remove my ego out of the situation, when I can ask my ego to be removed from all actions and interactions, if I can just err on the side of smiling, err on the side of grace, err on the side of a second chance, err on the side of looking for the good, that is often what I will find in my students, in my colleagues, and in myself. So, with that said, I'm going to end it on that note. Go check out this book if you haven't already. It's not too, it doesn't have big flashy pictures. It doesn't have a super duper, modern look. It doesn't have it, and that's what I love about this book, because it's so real, it's so heartfelt, and it's just got the stuff in here that nobody really wants to talk about, and he talks about it. So go check it out. The Courage to Teach, about what it's really like, and how we have the good days and we have the bad days, and sometimes we have no control over them, and sometimes by just surrendering and admitting that we're wrong and asking for help and moving forward anyway, it can get better. So if nobody else tells you today, you rock. Let me hear from you. I would love to know if you read this book, if you plan on checking it out. I hope you will. And have a wonderful, restful weekend ahead. You deserve it. And I'll catch you next time. Take care.